Hello and welcome, all friends and devotees of yoga and Buddhism. Today is June the 22nd, 2019. It's Saturday today, and I'm just going to continue reading my discoveries. I call them the golden treasures of wisdom. Fantastic, wonderful discoveries I made a couple of months back. It was a fantastic, this is the most important discovery of my life. I ran into these wonderful treasures of wisdom, which I always compare to the discoveries of Mr. Carter. You remember Mr. Howard Carter is the famous British archaeologist that discovered the golden Tutankhamun. Tutankhamun was an ancient Egyptian king that was all embalmed in gold and buried, in Egypt. And when all these great, wonderful archaeologists went out there, doing excavating the place, doing their research, they discovered this fantastic all golden tomb where this ancient Egyptian king was preserved, called Tutankhamun. That was the feeling Mr. Carter must have felt that day. It's the same feeling I felt when I discovered these golden resources of wisdom. Fantastic treasures of wisdom. There are over about 380 collections, nearly 400 collections, all treasures of fantastic wisdom. They've never been explored in Africa. No African has ever explored these treasures of wisdom. So I became one of the very first Africans, definitely the first Nigerian scholar to explore these fantastic treasures of wisdom, golden wisdom. Ran into them, I discovered them. And of course, I started now trying to teach them to students. For the first time in Nigeria, these teachings are now being taught so that students can get the wisdom and use the wisdom to benefit themselves and others. I decided to publish and expound upon them. Master Singyun, of course, for your information, is the first. He started the Foguangshan. He's one of the greatest Buddhists alive today. He's in his 90s. Was born 1927, and he's a Chinese, very great, one of the great Chinese personalities alive today in the world, and one of the greatest. He's a Buddha, very enlightened Buddhist authority. And he established the Foguangshan. The Foguangshan has built universities all over the world. The most affordable university in the United States, University of the West, formerly called the Silai University, was established by the great master. The largest temple in US and Canada, the Silai Foundation in Los Angeles, I've been there, was established by Master Singyun. African Buddhist Seminary in Johannesburg, South Africa, and the giant foundation there, the Nanhua Foundation, was established by Master, and so many others, Japan, Canada, Australia, Philippines, all over the world. And Master Singh, of course, he's in his 90s, so you see he has he's been busy for decades, doing very great work, fantastic works in Buddhism. I'm just going to read to you some of the treasures I discovered in his collection. There are many people in the world. Each of them has a unique personality, as well as likes and dislikes. Moreover, each person has his or her own thinking. Each person has his or her own thinking, views, ideas, abilities, skills, and experience. What is most important is that people come to know themselves. People come to know themselves, no matter what their strengths, weaknesses, or characteristics may be. When we know ourselves, we know how to handle our shortcomings and bring our talents into full play. The following are some guidelines for knowing ourselves. The worst problem in life is not knowing our faults. 1. Okay, these are the golden keys now, guys. Just keep your pens busy. That's what I need you to do right now. The smart students among you guys, just keep your biros, keep your pens busy, keep writing, just keep taking notes right now. Then later you can go and reflect and meditate on these treasures I've shared with you of wisdom. 1. The worst problem in life is not knowing our faults. Not knowing our own mistakes and shortcomings is the worst problem in life. We cannot be perfect, for we all have certain faults and inadequacies. According to a Buddhist saying, people are not perfect. Okay? They cannot be without faults. Knowing one's faults and correcting them is the greatest virtue. In addition, we need the courage. We need the courage to face our shortcomings and rectify them so that we can continue to improve and become someone more useful. If, on the other hand, we fail to appreciate our mistakes and try to cover them, or we lack the courage to face them, then we will never have the opportunity to correct them. Naturally, we will never improve. Naturally, we will never improve and make progress. Therefore, not knowing our faults is the worst problem in life. Not knowing our faults is the worst problem in life. 2. The most beautiful virtue in life is correcting our mistakes. Correcting our mistakes. Zelo, a disciple of Confucius, was overjoyed in learning about his mistakes. You the Great, it's a Chinese name, why you? Don't confuse it with you, English you. Okay, so you the Great, why you? Okay, spelled why you. You the Great bowed in gratitude when learning about his faults. Over the ages, the virtuous sages were always pleased to hear others point out their shortcomings. They were more than happy to accept the advice others gave them. Therefore, we should not be afraid to correct our mistakes. When we are happy to hear about our faults, we will improve and be able to succeed. However, some people tend to protect and cover up their mistakes. When others point them out, they feel hurt and upset. How can anyone who does not want to correct his or her mistakes improve and progress? Therefore, the greatest virtue in life is being able to make amends after realizing our own faults. 3. The third point. The most precious quality in life is having good reasoning and upholding righteousness. Having power and influence is not what is most precious in the world. It is difficult under common circumstances for people to uphold righteousness, even after learning about it. It is the habit of the virtuous sages to follow righteousness just by seeing it. As long as people can reason well and think clearly, they will find it easy to conduct any matter. When people are active in upholding righteousness, they will certainly win the respect of others. Therefore, when we can reason well and uphold righteousness, we are halfway to success in life. Halfway to success in life. 4. The final point. Okay, I call them the golden keys. The most disgraceful flaw in life is being corrupt and having no sense of shame. A tree without bark bears no fruit. A person without a sense of shame finds it very difficult to enter the way. If a person is corrupt, impure, unscrupulous, and shameless, and yet is unwilling to change from past mistakes or practice benevolence, such a person can never succeed in anything, for he or she will end up being despised by others. Therefore, if we want to succeed in life, we must strive. We must strive and work hard. If we want to succeed in life, we must strive and work hard. Okay? When we realize that, in order for us to strive and improve, we first need to appreciate shame and humility. We can then truly succeed in life. When we realize that, in order for us to strive and improve, we first need to appreciate shame and humility, we can then truly succeed in life. Okay? All I just need you guys to do is to take notes. The importance of this, why it's so important to write. Write a lot. Always try to do a lot of writing. Okay? Brilliant people always do that. It sharpens your mind and your intelligence. Okay? Always write. If you don't write, you'll be bored. And then you cannot learn. Okay? Once you are writing, your brain is working. Your mind is computing. Your brilliance, your brain is computing. Your brain is working like a computer when you're writing. You're activating, you know. You're getting your brain to work much better when you're putting down letters, writing always, okay? If you just sit there listening, you fall asleep sometimes, okay? Your mind will not work perfectly as you need it to. So always try to, that's why I always tell my students who come to my institute to learn, always exercise your pen and your paper. Pick points. Just use your pen, write down one or two things, highlight, use your highlighter, highlight a couple of things. Your mind is working. Your brain is working. Ideas are coming. Your brilliance is shining. Your light is shining. I need my students to shine, guys. I need you folks to shine. Okay? So always exercise your mind, your intelligence, your brain. Always, particularly when listening to my lectures. I want you to always exercise your mind. Exercise your intelligence. Exercise your brain. Okay? Use your mind. Put your mind to work. Okay? So I'm going to summarize to you Master Sing Yung's summary, okay, of this great treasure of wisdom we've just explored here for the first time, and we're going to keep exploring until our minds grow, just like plants grow. When you plant your flowers on a nursery, next time you come out, you see them growing. Next time they're shooting off, bringing out treasures, you see. So let's do this quickly. Let's get the summary and let our minds get to work fast on them. In getting along with people, not knowing our fault is very dangerous. In getting along with people, not knowing our fault is very dangerous. Master Sing Yung writes, and being ignorant of our strengths is regrettable. Regrettable. Being ignorant of our strength is regrettable. So you should know your fault and you should know your strength. Okay? If we fail to appreciate what is problematic, beautiful, valuable, and ignoble in life, we will find that society will not accept us. It's Master Sing Yung's summary. Okay? So this class is just to quickly bring you the treasure, quickly show you the gold and what it looks like, and then you quickly, take notes as advanced students in an advanced institute. All I need you to do is just jot down notes and then go back and do what the Buddha said you should do. Go back to yourself, back to your greater self. Sit in your library, sit in your personal library, sit down in your private study and get your brain to work. Put your brain to work. Put your intelligence to work. Do your reflection, do your research, do your meditation, do your homework on the treasures. If listening to me for the past 13 minutes, going through this treasure from the great Master Sing Yung, you've not been able to write down one sentence, you must be pretty daft and stupid. Then you are not the student I want in this institute. How could you have listened for 13 good minutes, 14 minutes? You couldn't write a single sentence in all these things I've said for 13 minutes. You are not the student. I don't want you in my institute. You are not qualified to sit here. Because you're going to fall asleep. You're just wasting your time. And, go and put your time something. Go carry blocks or rocks or something. Or go and farm. Go and, you're not qualified to sit in a research institute. So you understand what I'm saying? We need writers, sharp writers. I need sharp writers, brilliant writers. Brilliant writers should be my students. If you listen to my lectures, you should be able to pick a point. That shows intelligence. That shows quickness of mind. If I read you 100 lines, Judge yourself. If I read 100 statements, 100 lines to you, you must be able to write, that's just 1%. 1% means what? 1 out of 100. So if I read 100 lines to you and you are not able to pick one line to write down, do I want you in my institute? No, I don't want you in. You are not qualified to sit in my institute at all. You failed the examination. So if I'm reading statements of value to improve your life and my life, of course, you should be able to, I need you to jot. Okay, I need quick minds. So I'm assuming that all the students who've listened to my class have picked 2, 3 lines, 5 lines, 10 lines, 20 lines. Those who are good in shorthand, half of it, 50 lines. You should have written a concise piece, masterpiece, okay, which you now take over to your own library, your own study, your own chamber, your own, private space. Sit down and then get your brilliance to work. Get your brain to work. Get your mind to work. This is life. We don't have another one. When you die, you are gone. You'll be buried in your tomb. You don't have a second chance to come back here and seek wisdom again. Don't take these things for granted. This is an opportunity. And it is for you in your best interest to use it. When wisdom is unveiled to you, take advantage of that wisdom. Pick something out of it. Seriously. Be serious. This is life. It's your time that you are spending. Don't abuse yourself. Don't abuse your time. If you know you are not interested, don't come. Go away. Don't wait, because I'm saying it in your interest. If you want to come and listen, listen. And don't forget you are putting your life in by listening. So you better make something out of it. That's what I'm saying. You're going to invest like spending money. Because it's time. It's your time. It's your money. When you go somewhere to spend your money to buy something, you make sure you buy something of value. If it's not of value, you walk away quickly so you don't waste your dollars, your naira, your money, right? Same thing with your life. You put in time, clock time in, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 50 of your lifetime. So if you're not going to get something treasure out of it, go put your time of life into something else. Don't waste it. So this is solid wisdom, concrete wisdom. I ran into it, and now I'm sharing it. And so when you come to put your time in, make sure that you get the best out of the time you have put in your best interest. Okay? So that's what I'm saying. Students, I'm just giving you tips. Tips, a lot of tips. If you need tips, I have tips. I can give you hints. I can give you tips. I can give you some wisdom. And all you have to do is go back to your greater self. Go back to your study, to your library, and reflect and meditate upon these treasures of wisdom. Namo Amitofo.